All right, some things that I did off camera is I did some Gin prompt framework work, so Gin prompt framework doc work. So I created the my doubles page, and then on top of that, I added some things about like creating a knowledge base. Um, so the reason I wanted to do it off screen is I knew it was going to take me a while to like think through it, and sometimes when I think I have to go drive, or you're kind of trying to manage some of the other pieces of this product while in flow. So you have to manage everything. So I took some time to look through everything that I've said to the product. I had to rebuild the Gen prompt, not rebuild, but reread the Gen prompt framework doc. I had to make sure that everything that I had put into place is gonna like work out as far as all the builds. And then now I'm gonna create this my doubles page. And the reason why I want to do this last is because the the when I create the my doubles page, it is going to inform so many other things. For instance, I want there to eventually be a way for someone to have multiple doubles because, as I found out when I spent 3+ hours recording my voice, I now can use my voice for so many different things. I can use it on multiple projects. I can use it on the same projects for multiple reasons. Like for like when I do sales for Double Me, I can use one for sales. I can also create a double for investor relations. I can also create a double for hiring. I can also create a double for internal comms. I can also create a double for partnerships. So there's so many ways that you can create a double that I really wanted there to I really want to spend time with the process of at least framing how this part of the product will work. So hopefully that makes sense. Why I did that off screen because usually I would do Gin prompt framework docs on screen. So we're gonna come up here and then we're gonna go ahead and port this over. This shouldn't take long because, like I said, and like always, I always check how many. So I have 7 more days. Okay, cool. I'm hoping I can use it since I turned on diffs. So I went in here and I didn't realize. So I've developed a lot of different ways to manage token usage and minimize it as much as possible. This Gen prompt framework doc was what I created as an answer to my tokens getting sucked up. So I wanted to create this document that would allow me to uh, very kind of thoughtfully prompt like agentic coding platforms is what I'm calling them. I wanted a very thoughtful way to approach them so that it wasn't just create something, create something, create something, and then you don't know when something broke. You don't know when it went a step too far. You don't know what your project plan was. You don't know if it's going. So you'll see me as I'm going back and forth with Bolt in different projects. I have this doc, but I'm also adjusting it in real time because maybe Bolt has a better idea, or I say idea like they thought it through. Maybe Bolt has come up with a different solution to a problem that I had. Maybe the way that they presented a solution wasn't quite on point, but it's still better. So I might come here and edit it and then go back in. And so one of the things that I've done to do that is I didn't realize that there was a thing called diffs. I've seen it in Twitter. I've seen it in the Discord. I just assumed that with how little tokens I use, that I had it already on, and I didn't have it on. So it was rewriting everything. And then finally I think I asked ChatGPT. I was like, what is diffs? And it told me, and I was like, wait, every time I make an edit, it rewrites the whole page. And then it turns out that that I didn't have it on after ChatGPT explained it. I should have just asked someone. I don't know why I resorted to ChatGPT for that. And so what I ended up doing was turning it on, and now I'm using less tokens than ever. And then also they're updating, like they're debugging. They have advanced debugging now, which also decreases the amount of tokens that it uses. So all these things are like good because I'm like struggling to use up all the tokens I have, which I guess is a good problem because that means I can build more projects. And if you didn't know, projects to build Bolt. I have so many ideas to build, and these are ones I haven't. Well, I started on reference one. Started on the live company. Carrie, I just started the gym prop framework a couple days ago. Double Me is what I'm working on now. I need to move that up to current. The Reddit DM product, turning writing into an audiobook, the vinyl company, which I think is going to be really fun. Turning email to a newspaper, that is mail paper, which I'm also working on right now. You'll see that in other videos. Turn highlights into social posts. Isn't that... Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is high low. Yeah, so that's high low. And then I came up with an auto a founder PR product while I was in the shower one day. I was like, how am I going to get this out in a different way? So, and then chat with the book, which I want to go to a publisher and try and sell that, which I will use Double Me to do. So Double Me is actually really funny because Double Me and this Reddit DM product, the Reddit DM product is going to be for B2C projects that I launch. The Double Me is going to be for B2B projects that I want to launch. And essentially the only goal for Double Me, and for me at least, for Double Me and this Reddit DM product that I want to build, is just to get like the first 10 customers, because after that I kind of got an idea of what I could do. So 10.2 million tokens remaining. No idea how I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and build some stuff. And then, because we still got to get to the APIs, which we have not brought in yet. They are still coming. They are on their way. I'm really nervous about those because last time it took me 20 plus hours to figure out how to do it. And I know how to do it now that I've done it with reference one. I kind of know what to look out for. However, it is still not going to be easy because of the way the APIs work that I'm going to use. Some of them work together intuitively and some of them don't. And so it's usually this. It's the 11 Labs and Twilio work together. That's perfect. OpenAI, 11 Labs, Twilio, and Supabase, and Bolt don't all work together very well, even though Bolt and Supabase work together really well, and 11 Labs and Twilio work very well. Stringing them all five together to do something that makes all of what I'm building here cohesive and makes sense from a product standpoint, putting that all together is like really frustrating and hard. And so, but it might be easier this time. When I did reference one, it was hard. And now reference one, like I can get customers with reference one, which to get customers with reference one is why I thought of building Double Me. Because I had built reference one. I was like, okay, I don't necessarily want to have to sell this. I could if I wanted to, but that's not really like the point. I want to build more projects and test my skills out a little more. But I think that reference one could help some people. So I probably need something to help me with distro, and it's a B2B product and not a B2C product. So the Reddit DM tool won't work. So I need something that'll sell it for me. And that's when I came up with reference one, and with Double Me. So, and now I'm like, oh, Double Me can see, and that ate up 100,000. So maybe I will go through all these. Okay, here's Double Me. Did I put all that in there? Create a double. When a user lands on my doubles page, they should see a button in the top right that says create a double. They should also see the doubles that have already been created. They really already did this. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it comes up with something and I'm like, why would I change this? I don't need to change half of this. Like if you look at the gym prompt framework, I promise you, I did not tell it this. There will be two areas of this page. So I'm going to do that. But where's the one that said view activities and meetings attended? So down here at the bottom, oh, when a user clicks into a double, a modal opens that shows how many activities the double has taken. And below that, it should show the recent meetings that a double has attended. Already did that. I mean, to a degree. I'm not saying it actually did it, but it would be awesome to know if your double attended 145 meetings. I think that would be really interesting information to have. And also the last actives. I'm nerding out probably too much. But sometimes it does stuff and I'm just like, you hit the nail on the head. And I'm assuming it's pulling in context from all of the other things. Like if you scroll up in the chat, and it has so much context. When I say I want to create a double, I think it kind of knows what I'm going for because I've mentioned the doubles and all of these different interfaces, or in all of these different areas. I've mentioned the double. I said, oh yeah, like if something pulls up like that, it needs to know like which double it is, which right here it says with Alex. I'm not sure it's going to say Alex on here. Yep. There's Alex. So it's starting to weave things in. It didn't do this 3 months ago when I first started building on Bolt. So I'm kind of freaking out right now. You're seeing me in real time. That's the whole point of this channel. But man, that is so cool. It pulled in Alex. And that's the right date too, I think. No, it's wrong. I think it's 412. That says 4/15, 2024. Yeah. Okay, the dates are wrong. But it's close, man, because you know what it did pull in? It pulled in, I think, the date from 4/15. Alex. You got that time wrong. Yeah, because that says 5:30. Anyways, moving on. Sorry. That's just crazy that it's gotten that much better in a couple months. Okay, so there will be two areas on this page: in training and in the field. The reason I put this in here is because I want there to be a cool way of knowing whether or not a double is ready to go, like can be used in other conversations or follow-ups or calendar. Because eventually what we'll have in the calendar is that when you create this, it'll actually say which double it is. So it'll be like choose your double or something like that. And that'll be who takes the meeting. And so, which won't really matter if you're doing inbound, because in the inbound, you won't be able to create a meeting. It will matter in outbound because eventually we're going to add as a premium feature the ability to schedule meetings. So if I say meet with Sarah on product marketing, if I pull that in and it's outbound, that means I am calling Sarah, whether through Google Meets or whatever. It means that Sarah's been like, oh, sure, let's have a meeting. And I say, okay, let's hop on the phone or something like that, or my double's going to join or whatever. Like it needs to be able to select the double that knows the product marketing strategy of the company, of the organization that I'm leading. So it will have all of that context within the knowledge base and within the prompt, because the prompt will be like, you're a product and marketing expert, da 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 da. It'll have all this information so that when it meets with Sarah, like I can basically, what would be really cool? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is going to be the craziest video you've ever seen because I'm really excited. What will be really cool is if I can take like granola notes or Zoom meeting notes or whatever and automatically have that pushed versioning or adding more context or information to a double in the Supabase database. So that way, a double's knowledge base is increasing with every meeting that's had. So that way, if I had a partnership meeting with Amazon and I had all the context of the partnership meeting, and my engineering team needed to know what was happening in those meetings so that they could prepare what they need to build, same for the PMs or whatever. Instead of me having multiple meetings with them to explain everything, I could have those meeting notes pushed directly to the double, and then my team could just have meetings with the double as I'm having meetings with Amazon, because that double would have all the context of every meeting I'm having over here. That is the potential of what doubles could be. It could change how internal comms work. That's what I think is really special. Now, obviously, the foot in the door thing is going to be helping early stage founders like expand how many prospect calls they can take and make. So now with outbound, like I might build this in on the back end and not show anyone yet, but I could effectively, once I build the outbound, I could put all of the numbers of any prospect that I want into a Excel spreadsheet, and then say, hey, Alex, my double, who's my sales double for code calling, here's all the numbers you need to call, and then call them all and then have them all listed in summaries. So there's a lot of information that you could have there. Okay, moving on. That was probably too much. At this point, I'm really kind of in product mode, trying to build this thing out because I want to test this out next week. That's my goal. And I'm dog fooding it, as I mentioned before. So that means that I'm going to be using my own product to sell my product. So you'll see that sometimes with project management tools, like to sell Slack, Slack use Slack, or to do internal comms, Slack use Slack. Linear uses Linear to build Linear. So I'm gonna use a double on Double Me to sell Double Me to sell the features of Double Me to other people. And so I think that would be the best way to have a demo, is that someone is talking to my double, and at some point in the conversation the double says like, by the way, like, you're in the this is the demo. I'm not a real person. I'm trained on the person's voice, and I'm good enough that I could probably trick. My wife said that I could probably trick her on a conversation if I wanted. Oh, I love how they did that. Wow, I did not expect it to look like that. There's a couple of UI things that I'm going to change. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Let's see. Let's see what happened. What I imagine happened is that I didn't give it the information that it needed. Training state management, new double start and training status required active once configured. Okay, so right here is where I need to kind of update something real quick. So I need to basically say when a user clicks on a double that is in training on the My Doubles page, a modal opens up that allows the user to add a prompt and knowledge base and then save. I don't think I need to do that. I think I actually wrote this already. Oh, I don't. Wow, I missed that. Oh, two field knowledge base prompt. Okay, cool. I'm gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna see what happens if it tries to fix this problem. Because something happened. Complete training. Yep. Solid. I edit. That is so. Oh, and it says configure Emma. Wow. Personality, area of expertise. We don't really need area of expertise. That's okay. I mean, it'll. Wow. Okay. So, just trying to think, how would this work in practice? So, once something is in the field, it needs a phone number attached to it and a voice. It needs a phone number and a voice. Huh. No, this is fine. This is fine, but it needs a phone number and a voice in order to actually be able to be included, so that when someone clicks on calendar and they go here and they type in outbound this double, that double needs a phone number attached to it and it needs a voice attached to it. So it won't actually be ready yet in training. Okay, I need to change. I need to add an area that says on the bench. But I also know that Twilio 11 Labs, I'm pretty sure 11 Labs has the ability. Where's their documentation? Has the ability. What's it called? Documentation. Can I just put that in? Okay. I'm pretty sure 11 Labs has the ability to create that. Now think about it. Tools, knowledge base, personalization. Nope. Voice. Oh, Twilio personalization. No, that's not it. Speed and control. Uh, hmm. That's not what I need. I was just interested in what that said. Okay, Twilio, dynamic calls, outbound calling, native integration. Yeah, so these work really well together. Um, but I'm pretty sure that it was able to create a phone number. Yes, import a phone number from Twilio. Token. Okay, so this would create a phone number. So if I ever wanted to assign a phone number to it right here, I could do that and allow them to do it. Can I also allow them to choose the voice right here? Is that also possible? Get conversation audio, knowledge base. Looks like I can't. Looks like I cannot do that. That'd be nice if I could do that. Okay. I mean, I can't spend too much time on it. It's a feature for later. But anyways, it might be in the field. That might be an MVP fix that I need to make. But right now, my MVP is going to be pretty cool. It might not be useful to anyone but me, but it's going to be cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Oops. I need to change that to in the field, by the way. I'm just going to send that because I've noticed that I don't need my formula as much anymore if the context for what we have been building is on a specific page. And watch it prove me wrong on that. Yep. Okay, cool. Did that. When a user clicks into a double, a modal opens to see how many activities. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, see, you already kind of did that, and I don't want to mess up your thing, but I will say that I can't click into that. And there's something also in here that I wrote. So it said it has a gearbox. So I'm actually going to change this to at the bottom of the double. So I'm going to change this to say when a user clicks the gearbox icon on a double. Oh, what did they name the double? Oh, on a double that is in the field on the My Doubles page. The a modal pops up that contains that doubles knowledge base and prompt, and the user can edit those fields and then press save, and the knowledge base and prompt will be saved or updated for that double. Okay, the reason why I type like that, you'll start, like if you use both as much as I have, you have to kind of tell it what to do in a way that also tells it what not to do. So when I said modal pops up that contains the doubles knowledge base prompt. Okay, and the user can edit those fields and then press save, and the knowledge base and prompt will be updated for that double. I wrote it that specific way because sometimes if you say, in other words, and the user can edit those fields and then press save, and the knowledge base and prompt will be saved. That might not mean anything to Bolt. It might think local host saving. So actually, when I'm ready to incorporate Supabase, which, like I said in previous other projects, I do the most last, because as it creates row level securities, which is what got me stuck on reference one, by the way, as it creates row level securities and other things in the application, creates a database schema, you can get into a really bad shape if you are not technical and need to refactor your code, because Supabase has way too many, what do they call it? It's like audits or something. It's something that it does when it has to change things in of how Supabase commands work within your platform or your product that you're building, where it'll start adding up. And then if you have too many of those, your code will get slow and you got to refactor it. And I don't prefer to do that. So I do Supabase last, so that the first schema that it creates will be the schema for this entire product. And then as I change things, it will then create new. I just forget what it's called. It's been a while. I think it's called audits. Um, so I'm gonna do that much later. So this says updated. When I'm ready for Supabase, I'll say updated in Supabase for that double. But right now, I am not going to say that, because once you mention Supabase once, or any type of user or database, it automatically will start to suggest, hey, you need Supabase. And then they'll start getting stronger and stronger in that recommendation. View activity. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Well, guess what? Show activity modal needs a scroll feature. Because look at that. So, by the way, I read that right here. Show activity modal. Can you add a scrolling function to the show activity modal? So the more that you start to learn your own code by reading what Bolt is doing, the more that it is easier to save on tokens, one, but also make very, very succinct and direct edits, so that it's not using, again, too many tokens. A lot of things that you're doing is really to manage against token usage. Is it not done? Oh, it's not done with the update. If that ever happens where you're like, oh, why hasn't it changed? It's usually go up here, and if this thing is still swirling, it hasn't actually updated it. So it's working through some stuff. And while that is happening, can I take a break? I'm gonna pause this. Maybe not. I try to let y'all see how long this takes in real time. It takes a while. And when I start to use Supabase, these edits will take way longer. Okay, so sometimes this takes too long. What does this mean? Oh, experimental feature enabled. That's smart to indicate that. Um, Here's the downside. If I start editing and this thing isn't finished, what could happen and has happened to me in the past is that it might edit some code. Oh, there it goes. It finished. It might edit some code that of the new thing that I'm editing that might overwrite what this is doing in the background, which then creates a very large and frustrating error that you have to then unstick. Oh, it put a scroll in the activities. Interesting. I would not have done it that way, but for an MVP, I really do not care that much. That is one of those things. Sometimes I care about things and sometimes I don't. Okay. So when it clicks the view activity, it'll see the activity, or when it clicks on the thing, when it clicks on the gearbox icon, it'll let you update the doubles knowledge base and prompt if it is in the field. If it is not in the field, then when you just click the button, that means it's in training. When you just click on the doubles like card, if you will, it'll then open up. The only modal that you can access is to fill out the knowledge base and the prompt. And so that creates it so that it's kind of a double feature, which can be confusing, but it makes your product a lot cleaner. So the double feature is, let's see, we edited that. Okay, the double feature on this one is, so if I click on view activity, oh, I didn't make it the whole thing. So that's the whole thing, but this is not. This is just view activity. Okay, so it's not a double feature. What I thought it was is that it was a click, so that you see the activities if you click. But if you click gearbox, knowledge base. Cool. There we go. All right. Is that it for the doubles? Oh, nope. Oh, I already did this. Already did this. I changed that. Yep, don't need that. Don't need really any of that. Creating a double. Here we go. What did we call the create a double? Oh, we didn't. We didn't call it anything yet. Okay, so now we use the formula. When a user clicks on the create a double button, we're almost done, by the way. I don't know how long is this video. Oh, we're at 32 minutes. Okay, so we're almost done with this. When a user creates on the create a double button in the my doubles page, a modal opens. It actually is called something. I just don't remember what it was because I didn't need to edit it. Oh, shoot. Okay, how about this? Um, I already named it, right? Double's name. Can you remove personality description in areas of expertise? That's not really like important right now. Also, if you create your double, you should know what these are. So notice when you create a double, I did have it initially so that it would be you create your knowledge base. So I have to adjust that. And I changed it because I didn't think that was a good user flow. I thought you should be able to create your double first, then have it in training, and then this is the training. And then when you complete this, then it goes into the field. So it wasn't intentionally sports related, but it gets the point across for most people. Um, so we're gonna do all of these. drop down question. What if I can give it this content, and I'll say the text in parentheses. Nope, parentheses. Should be treated as the informational call out, and it can be put as an icon so that when a user hovers, is a little bit more complex for it. I usually wouldn't do something like this. Hovers over the call out icon, the text in parentheses show here the user is no longer hovering over the icon. Okay, so essentially what I want to do is make it so these parentheses are not part of the question, but they're like kind of a hidden thing that someone can click on, because again, you want this to be clean. And the best way for something to be clean, especially in a form, depending on the context of the form, is we want to make this really quick and easy. So if you're filling out a form for like a research project or something like that, you would put the stuff that's in parentheses in a description. So it'd be right below the question, or the place where you put the entry, or right above it. So when it says put as much information as you possibly can into this section, too little information and your double will get stumped. That would normally go underneath where this says something like areas of expertise, and it'd be right there. Instead, I want to put an eye icon that someone can hover over and see that information. So it'll make it so that this form is a little bit cleaner than having like two questions or two places to enter information that will have descriptions, because then that wouldn't look right. So it'd be like 2 out of 5 or 6 would have like descriptions, and the others wouldn't. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, create double modal. I should have known that that's what it would say. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second because I got to run and do something really fast, and then we'll get back to it. All right, I'm back. It threw off a bunch of errors. So I don't know what happened, but I'm going to just let it fix it for a little bit, and then I got to see what I did. Okay. All right. I think I probably just added too many things at once. Sometimes that happens. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. Something isn't done yet. Oh, it thinks it's done. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's do this. This is the last thing I need to do. And then I'll be done with this section. Create double modal is the name of this. Okay, I'm going to pause this again. So, sorry, false alarm. We'll see. Didn't throw off any errors this time. So, let's see if we got what we needed. Nope. It still hasn't updated. Okay, it's not even close. Okay. I'm gonna check back in later. I really don't want this video to go too long. That's why I keep coming in and out. All right, I'm gonna cut this off, and then I'll come back we'll continue the I think the next thing is the API stuff, and we'll do that in the next video.